In the most unsurprising news story of the day, Rishi Sunak's government are about to compromise on the jurisdiction and powers of the European Court of Justice in Brexit Britain. Do you remember in 2016 we had a referendum, we voted to leave the EU, and then in 2019, 2020 we left the EU, we stopped being an official member of the organization. But where are we now exactly? Because part of our country is still inside the European Union. The rest of the country is still tied to EU laws. And now this row about the Northern Ireland Protocol issue is still continuing, obviously, every single day. And Rishi Sunak, Jeremy Hunt, these guys decided to just give up and say, well, let's just do a bit of a compromise. Their counter offer to the EU, because one of the issues we have is about the powers of the European Court of Justice, ECJ, inside Britain. Even though we are not really a member of the EU, they still have powers. So it sounds quite rare for me to say, but in defense of Boris Johnson and Liz Truss as prime ministers, those two, that was the red line. They said in these negotiations, because we have to rewrite the Northern Ireland Protocol or get rid of it. They said, well, the red line we have is ECJ. We don't want it to have any power in this country. Now, it was all obviously talks. Nothing got done. But still, at least in terms of their position, that was their position. But now, Rishi Sunak, Jeremy Hunt, and the new cabal, they've decided to send an offer to the EU. Their new position from the United Kingdom government is this, that the ECJ to be supplemented with an independent arbitration panel. So they're going to basically turn the ECJ, it's basically smokes and mirrors, turn it into, you can still be a referee between Britain and the Republic of Ireland when it comes to any trade issues, any discussions, any row that happens in the future. But can you guys just act as an independent referee? ECJ, independent referee. Any sort of independent panel being connected to the ECJ is not going to work because it's one-sided. It's going to protect the interests of the European Union. It's the same thing as every time the EU, Brussels, want to sue one of their own member states, and they do it every 10 minutes. They take them to court. When they say we are taking Hungary or Poland to court, do you know what they mean? They're taking them to the European Court of Justice. The ECJ, it's not really an independent body. You can't do that. It makes absolutely no sense. The whole system is corrupt. I don't understand why there's no real backlash from the European media. Because not everybody in Europe is in favor of the EU. But we don't really hear much about the sound European media outlets actually challenging this narrative that comes out of Brussels every single day. Now, I'm going to keep an eye on this issue with the ECJ and the Northern Ireland Protocol because we are not hearing much about it even from British media. So someone has to talk about this, and this channel was actually created back in the day because of the Brexit negotiations under Theresa May, because we weren't really getting proper updates from our media. So I thought I could just go out there, dig deep, find out these stories that happens that are not being reported, and you guys supported me. So I'm going to have to do the same thing again. With this all the shenanigans that we are seeing from both sides. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to come back in half an hour on my Tousi, and we are the media.